Hello, I'm Hannah, and welcome to your morning energizing practice. Roll out your mat, and I'll see you there. So we're actually going to start standing at the top of our mat. We're going to get straight into things. So finding your way all the way up to the top of your mat, let's bring the feet to hip width. And just take a moment to feel into the earth. So we're actually going to keep the eyes open here. Let's have the arms beside the body, a broadening through the heart space. This practice is a wonderful way to just set you up in a feel-good, energized way today. So as you find your way literally into standing, notice if you've got the weight really distributed through one side or the other, and just keep trying to bring yourself back to center. A slight softening in the knees may help. When you're ready, bring the arms up overhead, take a deep inhale, look up. And then bring the thumbs into heart space. Exhale. Bring those arms up. I like to do a little gentle bounce through the legs. And then thumbs to the center of the forehead. Exhale. Soften through the knees, reach the arms up. Thumbs to the heart. Hands rise. This time pause with the thumbs to the center of your forehead. If you're comfortable closing the eyes, go ahead and do so. Finding a light touch to the third eye center. Here it might be nice to gently whisper to yourself, I see you. I see you. More often than not, we are led by the ego. We are performing for others, but we cannot hide from ourselves. Let this be a joyful way to express who we are and see if we can respond with kindness to whatever may come out of our bodies in our expression of our yoga practice today on our mat. Reach the arms up, inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Take a halfway lift, inhale. And step back to downward facing dog. This may be your first one, so let's give that a nice, enjoyable stretch out. Perhaps pedaling out through those legs. Maybe the shoulders are swaying, the gaze is swaying. And then ripple forwards through to high plank pose. If you're comfortable holding that, go ahead and hold it. If you need to at this stage of your practice, drop the knees, go ahead and do that. One more breath. We'll collectively drop the knees, then hug elbows in chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale through to a little cobra and soften down. Let's wave through that 2 more times, perhaps feeling a little more expressive, a little more lifted through each one. Exhaling, lowering, lifting on an inhale. Little core engagement. Let's lower down. Lightly touch the forehead to the earth. Jhana, our third eye chakra. Focus practice today. I see you. Melting away the ego. Push the hips back towards the heels for an exhale, and then lift through to downward facing dog once again. Go ahead and lift the right leg to the sky. Inhale, and then place the right foot in between the hands. Hands begin to rise. Meet me in high crescent lunge. Find a moment just to feel into the body. Maybe you're feeling sluggish if you are practicing this first thing in the morning. Maybe you're not feeling so buoyant. Some of us are leap out of bed morning people. I might give you the impression that that's me, but it isn't. I'm much more a 10 a.m. after I've had a coffee and a walk. I'm feeling good kind of gal. So however you've turned up on your mat, that's okay. You might still be in your pajamas. We're going to add a little bit of lion's breath here. So I'm going to give you 1 round to demo and then join me for 3. We're going to make fists with the palms, bend the elbows, open the mouth, tongue out, side out. 3 more. Last one. Hands rise. Take the gaze up if you can, little heart lift. Warrior 2, bring the back heel down. And then reverse triangle, straighten through the front leg. And then lift your way back up. Warrior 2, come to pause. So taking a moment again to settle, noticing where the energy just went in that little energetic moment. Noticing how we can then draw that energy and bring it into a grounding moment. On your next exhale, windmill the hands to the mat. Step back, downward dog. Your choice whether you stay still or add a little flow. Maybe it's a cat-cow or chaturanga. Perhaps you're joining me through chaturanga to cobra to downward dog. We meet in downward dog. Left leg rises this time. Inhale. Place left foot in between the hands. High crescent lunge. This is where we explore. So holding a pose can be just as challenging for the body as moving quickly and moving with strength. This is a different kind of strength. It's using our stabilizers. So see if you can work with your foundations. Spread the toes. Find a sense of evenness of the torso so you're not leaning too far back or forwards. Fire up the leg muscles, the glutes. Engage lightly through core. We're adding 3 rounds of lion's breath with movement, making fists, open the mouth. Hands rise. Warrior 2, straighten through the front leg, reverse triangle. And then from here, slowly lifting your way up, we come to pause, warrior 2 again. So our warrior pose, fierce warrior, has this stabilizing, earthing, but energizing sensation and energy. See if you can spark up fingertip to fingertip, but at the same time, soften the shoulders. We find our inner balance. Last breath. And then hands windmill to the earth. Either flow, and that could be a cat-cow, or high to low, making your way through vinyasa of your choice. We meet in downward dog. From here, I invite you to gently walk the feet forwards towards the top of your mat and dangle. Feet at hip width. Soften the knees, little ragdoll. Just enjoying the sensation of letting go through the spine, the hips. I do suggest a little bend in those knees. Let the head sway. Rolling your way up. Taking your time. Hands reach. Inhale. Thumbs to heart. Exhale. Hands rise. Inhale. Thumbs to the center of forehead. I see you. Hands rise. Go ahead and forward fold. Exhale. You're going to step back to tabletop. So drop the knees to the earth. Bring the hands under the shoulders. And then from here, you're going to bring your knees quite nice and close together. Bring the feet close together. And then extend the right toes back, tucking the toes, and push the weight back into that right heel. Feel an activation through the back of the right calf, perhaps through the back of the knee, the ankle, the heel. And then as you push the weight forwards again, you're going to drag that right knee and try to nestle it behind the left knee. So I've brought right knee over to the left side of the mat behind me. Widen through the feet. You might bring the knees a bit more to center if you prefer. Widen through those feet and then see if it's possible to push the hips back. Coming into cow face, you might choose to straighten through the bottom leg or keep the knee bent, your choice. And if it feels comfy, maybe you begin to melt forwards. So it could be in different variations here. Perhaps forward folding is not in your repertoire right now. Maybe just staying tall, gathering that top knee in towards the body is what feels right for you. Remembering you're not here to impress anybody, including yourself. Let the ego soften. Let our practice on our mats offer us a new way to see. And remember, it is a practice. Last breath. Slowly lifting your way up if you are forward folded. And then from here, hands behind you. Extend those legs. Give them a little wiggle out. We'll take a little reverse tabletop. So I'm going to have to shimmy my way all the way forwards, hips to the center of the mat, feet at hip width, hands behind you. Press down firmly through the feet and see what you can do with lifting the hips. You can choose to keep the gaze forwards. Maybe you can then open up a little more through the heart, perhaps take the gaze up or even back. One more breath. Inhale, chin rises, and then slowly lower those hips. We'll start to swing the legs back behind us, come back to your tabletop. Bring those knees, those legs quite close together, and extend the left foot back. Push your weight back so shoulders come behind the wrists. And then when you're ready, shift the weight a little forwards again. See if you can tuck the left knee behind the back of the right. I'm going to just shimmy my knees a little more to center. Widen the feet enough that you can walk your way back, hips to the earth. It may be that we need to rearrange. So perhaps you're bringing that bottom leg out too straight. Some of you might choose to forward fold here, and we don't have to be really energetic. Maybe we just choose to melt at this stage. I quite enjoy the bottom leg being straight, as it also adds a little bit more of a hamstring stretch in there if that's what you're after. You could stay upright. No judgment here, just curiosity within your own experience of body and mind practice. And last breath. Slowly unravel. We're going to shimmy ourselves to center. You might want to just take a little wiggle out. And then we're going to lower our way down for bridge pose before we head to Shavasana. So hips to the center of the mat. Let's bring those feet in so that the feet are roughly hip width. Try to imagine your feet are on train tracks, so toes are not turning outwards if possible. Bring the palms to face down, reaching fingers to the heels, not necessarily having to touch, but then see if you can already do a little tuck of the shoulder blades underneath you to protect through the neck of the spine. And then we want to press down into those feet and roll up through the hips, one vertebrae at a time. Maybe you'll get to a point where you can walk shoulder blades closer together. Lengthen through the back of the neck. We want to be a little firm through the glutes, so you're pulling heels in towards the shoulders. Feel a little activation through the back of the thighs. And notice whether your knees have traveled wide. Can you keep the knees on top of the heels? 2 more breaths, finding a little more power. And then we'll roll our way down, slow and steady, trying not to suddenly drop. Spread the arms, maybe cactus plant them, and just allow the knees to gently drop either way. If you want to pause there on one side for a few breaths, perhaps choosing to settle for at least 3, and then the other side, that might feel good too. When it feels right for you, settling your way into Shavasana. Starting to bring a little awareness to your fingers, your toes, Adding gentle movement until you feel ready to gather the knees in. Maybe you're taking a deep hug before you roll to one side. Gathering your way up to sit tall. Resting palms down on the thighs. Take a moment to just be. And here I'd like to offer a quote by Eckhart Tolle. The ego tends to equate having with being. I have, therefore I am. The ego lives through comparison. How you are seen by others turns into how you see yourself. I invite you to bring thumbs to heart, palms together. Take an exhale. Thumbs to the center of the forehead. Another exhale. A representation of melting the ego. Thank you for joining today's practice, and be well.
Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Not only will this keep you up to date with my offerings, but will keep content like Tula Being free and accessible to all.